Hi guys, welcome to your March 2021. This is going to be the What Aren't They Telling You Timeless Reading Week 2 for the beautiful sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Hi Cancer, and happy new moon in Pisces. What was that? If you're new here with me, hello, hello. If you are returning, welcome back. If you're subscribed to the tribe, and what's good, fam bams? Hello to my members. Let's go ahead and unpack. So thank you so much for voting. You were number 3 this week. Yes, you probably would have gotten your videos a couple of days ago, but on the weeks where you have a you versus them, which is the next thing, I probably will be getting them done closer to the weekend. Upload schedule varies and it starts between Wednesday and Saturday. Sometimes it will extend to the next day, obviously, because that's still the week. The week doesn't end until Sunday at midnight. So thank you so much for being here and voting. Before we get started, and this is going to be a good one, I would like for you to drop your eyes in the description box for a couple of things. A, your you versus them reading for the 1st through the 15th of this month. Your 7-card Quantum Cross that is available on Marvelous Enlightenment's channel. If you missed last week's video, please go ahead. That playlist is in the description as well for last week's video and the informational video for this week. Homework. Yeah, Marv gives homework. Let's go ahead and get started. There were some things in the comments that I wanted to address too. You guys, you have to think about this when you are watching videos that have something to do with the tarot readings. You have to start thinking about it, and you probably have not done this from a standpoint of what is going on in the sky at the time. Now, some readers are a little bit different, but I do both. I blend, and that's because we have to know astrologically what's going on in the sky. And to some people, astrology, well, I mean, in my opinion too, it's another form of divination. It's just what you believe in. So, if you guys are seeing the same type of energy come out for a week, it shifts. When, everybody's saying that. Well, if they're tapped in, everybody probably will say the same thing because we're all influenced by the planetary alignments of that particular month, week, day, or whatever is going on. So it is no surprise that in the first couple of videos that I've already posted last week, it was a shift between Mars moving out of Taurus, which is a little bit more stable, and you can't move it into a free flowing energy of Mars moving into Pisces. Into Gemini. In Pisces season, Venus moved into Pisces, and then here we are again, and we're in a smack dab in the middle of a new moon in that energy. And if you're one of those individuals, Cancers, you've been told Pisces is your soulmate and blah, blah, blah. That's just one aspect of what makes up a person's entire chart. So, if you're not a person that likes the back and forth and the beauty of mutable energy, because every single element has a beauty. It just, some are good for some things and some are good for other things. That's just the nature of the beast. So that is the reason why we're getting a very back and forth type of energy. With the Taurus video, the same thing. The person has a desire to do better and doesn't know how. The same is going on in your reading, but a little bit different. So let's not discount the planetary alignments and shifts that are going on in the sky, which is making these individuals do what they're doing, which leads us, thank you for that rant, the first card between you and the individual, which is the sacred temple. Everybody is going through these type of spiritual, it's like these spiritual awakenings. And Cancer, the person that loves you is no different. The difference is that it's been a struggle for them. They have fought the sacred temple. They have fought it tooth and nail, but it gets better. It gets sadder, but anyway, and that 5, first of all, it's the card of 5. They're fighting it. It has brought tremendous challenges into their lives. Now, remember, this part of the reading is for you and that person. And there have been challenges in this relationship with you and this person as it has pertained to them completely shutting out their spirituality. And I think I talked about this last week, where in your video, if a person is not at least somewhat accepting or on their spiritual path, you may not think, Cancerians, that bothers you, but eventually it will play a role, because that's kind of always where you are. Every Cancer placement in some shape, way, or form believes in some type of higher being, something bigger than themselves. And if you're attracted to toxic energy that has not evolved in that spirituality, is going to become a problem. So again, indicating the past influences that brings energy unto your current circumstances, and they have been inspired, and both of you guys have. Now, I know that should be, I'm not saying that you're a saint, I'm just saying that you're a little bit more prone to look at things from that perspective because of your placement. So what's going on right now energetically is back and forth. And this is not necessarily the greatest thing. Again, this is a 5. Setting the intention to go back and forth because we are unsure and don't know what the hell is going on. So energetically and logistically, you guys are back here. It has been an issue. It has been an ongoing issue. It has been something that has been going on inside of your life with this individual. You have probably talked to them. Now, normally I tell you guys that these 3-card readings at the beginning are general, but this feels very, very much tied into your relationship. And think about it. If a person is going back and forth and fighting themselves at every turn, then they're applying these same principles into their day-to-day life. And if you look at it like if that's how you approach life, then you wouldn't hesitate to approach it like that for little old me. You have to look at it like that. So they have a tremendous willpower. I want to talk about you for a second before I get into this last potential outcome. You have to really look at the individual. If the individual has a hard time making decisions, you have to pay attention to certain things. How are they handling their day-to-day life? How do they make decisions? What is in their Mars? How is their Mars and Moon working? What is their Sun-Moon combination? I know you're not the astrologer here, but these are the things that I look at when you guys book me and I tell you to book an inner planet. You need to know the inner workings of the way this person comes to their decision making in comparison to yours. This energy between you guys, Cancer, and I hate to sound biased, but I promise, unless you have mutable energy in your chart, and it's fine if you do, then you can somewhat understand, but you're still cardinal energy. So you'll play the game, but not too long. I don't care if you got a Cancer placement in your inner planets. I don't care how much mutable energy you are. It could be mutable anything. Earth, fire, sword, whatever it is. Or, earth, fire, air, or water. If you have that placement, it's going to make you eventually, you're not going to stick around and be undecided for too long. You're cardinal. It just is what it is. And when it comes down to your emotions, you definitely aren't going to stick around too long. You may overstay your welcome, but you're not. So I see what's going on. It seems to be this has something to do with love. Intuitively, this is what I'm feeling, and the outcome is stuck energy, and this is exactly where they put themselves in. That 8 is about movement. Everything in their mind, body, and soul, Cancerians, is telling them to move, but they remain stuck. And while they remain stuck, it's not your issue to figure it out. I mean, you have to start, holding people accountable. If you're going to hold up the growth in the relationship, then I have to start looking at why I'm okay with that. I'm not saying not to. I'm not saying, but, again, friendship is here. It could have been a situation where you guys were friends. It could have been a situation where you were okay with walking away with from the situation from a romantic standpoint. And this person is messing the friendship up. For some of you guys, you're better off as friends. Some people that you are connected with on a soul level is just not meant to be with you romantically like that. And it's a hard pill to swallow. I understand, especially when you have already made your mind up about it. Obviously, this individual, we have this again Angels of the Four Directions. This has been a very popular card, and somebody tried to go down inside of the comments and fact check me. Don't do that. Start your own channel, please, and go and put down all of the checks and the balances that you need on your channel. Don't do it on mine. I don't pretend to remember every little thing in my practice, so that's the reason why I did rely on the book. And the Angels of the Four Directions is talking about the following: Uriel, Raphael, Michael, and Gabriel. Uriel is the angel of the north, okay? A source of immensely valuable inspiration. So if you're working on something creative, Uriel is going to help you. This feels like this is not for Archangel Uriel, guys. This feels like it is for Raphael, which is the Archangel of the East, a wonderful angel that supports you in matters of love, healing, children, and relationships. So invite his presence to help you resolve your love and relationship issues and to bring the physical healing you desire. That's who we're talking about. When it is in reverse, it talks about the other two. And when it's upright, it talks about those two, Archangel Uriel and Archangel Raphael. And this is what is going on. So these two cards, and this is what's clarifying that well-being. I'm just going to let you know that as much as this person has struggled, Cancerian, it is in their best, in their own best well-being. Like, it is completely beyond you at this point. They're being called for something higher. And if they don't start to love themselves and really get to a point where they can love you correctly, because they're fighting every type of spiritual download that they get, they fight it. They apply their energy and their control to the wrong things in their life, which gets us into the first energy between you guys, which is the Seven of Cups. We do have the Ace of Cups. We do have in the heart place the Nine of Wands. We do have the Four of Wands. And we do have the Two of Cups. Okay? If you're interested in this deck, it is the Housewives Tarot, which is also listed inside of the description box. So the top of the deck looks like the Four of Pentacles and the and the Four of Swords. So there is a lot, including the Spirit card. The Angels of the Four Directions is a 4 card as well. They're looking at their stability. And I feel like this person intuitively could have had hard times even deriving at the point that they are now. They've definitely had some hardships along the way. And they feel that what I find is that if a person knows that they love too much, or if the way that they love has caused any type of issues in the past, then they will hold back that love because they never want to feel the pain that's associated with that. And I get it. This person, though, unfortunately, Cancer, is in love with you and wants to marry you, which is the hardest part. And your issue probably is going to be to walk away from this connection because the person just can't seem to make their mind up. And it's not that you put pressure on them to marry you or anything. It's just that they're constantly in the back and forth stuck energy. And they have ignored every spiritual sign, every angel number, everything that has come into their lives to tell them that you are it, that they should take a gamble on you, that it feels right, that it feels natural. They fight it, which is a shame. They like the options of they like the energy of having their options, and they never quite know what the hell to choose. When they don't have their options, they feel like they are backed into a corner. And unfortunately, this is what happens in emotionally immature individuals. Yet they are in love with you and have a desire to spend the rest of their lives with you. And yet they're fighting. The reason why they are in the Nine of Wands in their heart, Cancerians, is because they're fighting themselves to keep up this facade of liking to have my options. Let's be real for a second. I like my options too. When I go to a restaurant, I don't want them just to tell me what they recommend. I want to look at the menu and then be able to decide, but I'm not in detriment with that. Like, I'm not so hell bent on having all of my options that I can't make a decision. That's what this person feel. They feel like I'm not going to like have a temper tantrum in a restaurant with my mask on, of course. If they say, this is the special today, Marv, and I'm like, where are my options? This is too final. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but it's like in the Taurus video, it's hard for me to bring this to you because it's so ridiculous. I know, but honestly, everybody is not cardinal energy. Everybody's not cardinal energy like you, Cancerian. So they're having to fight themselves. They're the wounded warriors. They have a tremendous amount of willpower, like I showed you, but they apply and exert that willpower in the wrong damn places. If they just took the time to put that willpower and turn it into, get out of their head and turn it toward this relationship, you guys would probably already be married. There we go. Ace of Cups and Two of Cups yet again. They're happy with you. They can visualize the happy ever after, but they are always quietly preparing, always stuck in those Four of Pentacles, always, trying to possess everything, always trying to control the pinnacle, always thinking. These two are to their detriment, those two together. And you can be stuck in the idea with the Four of Swords and the contemplation, which could be a good thing. But then you get so stuck over here with this other Four of Pentacles trying to possess and control the damn Pentacle so much that nothing happens. 4 and 4 is 8. 8 is about movement, but that Four of Swords and that Four of Pentacles is not balanced. And then we do have another Four of Wands here. So, this is what I feel. And it's really sad. It's hard to bring that energy to you, but we are in their energy that feels very much so like Pisces. And so whatever you and your person is going through this week, this seems to be what is on the agenda, on the menu. We are connecting with Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We do have the presence of fire, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Definitely. So I know the desire is to get married. Definitely to have a happily ever after with you. These cards are so funny to look at. However, their Four of Swords and their Four of Pentacles keeps them in the way, keeps them in stuck energy, keeps them back and forth. And you already seen what the outcome is. I think overall, the connection is so strong that, it's one of those things where Spirit may be telling some of you guys, maybe it's best for this person to be a friend in your life. And unfortunately, they're so screwed up that they're messing up the friendship. Sometimes people are just, it's hard to go down that emotional road. So if you've already crossed the line into romance, it's going to be very hard to be friends with this person. I'm just going to tell you. I know how that Cancer stuff go. And I'm just telling you. So if that's where you are, I understand. Romantic feelings, yes. So obviously the feelings are real and worth exploring. They already know this. They walk around with these deep feelings for you every single day. And you're not the reason why they're not doing this. They're the reason why they're not doing it. Clarify Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is love yourself first. So I know that this is an energy of them bringing something from the past into the present. That's the reason why, this is here. They struggle with their spirituality. They struggle with staying, they struggle with being God-fearing. And I'm not saying that, because we all are different religions, but again, there has to be a spiritual aspect. And if you don't believe in something, then I know that, they have a hard time loving themselves. And they've been walked all over in the past, and they are guarding that heart of theirs tooth and nail. And it is killing them to the point where they're sick, because really this is what they want. I already told you, this is what they want. Four of Wands. Here's the honeymoon. That's not the card that's clarifying. It is clarifying the Nine of Wands, which is the wounded warrior. So they're intended on fighting it. But they haven't balanced out the scales, Cancerian, and they intend on fighting it. Nine of Wands, they still show that they have, fight in them left. They're in love with you. They possibly love you more than they love themselves. And that's, you can't do that. So they really got to get to a place of loving themselves in order to really understand what's going on and what's happening to them. we do have calling in your soulmate. So it looks like no matter what type of argument or miscommunication that you have, this person prays and they affirm and they visualize you and hope that you guys can really do what you need to do. Again, they could be definitely blaming everything on you, Cancerian, because most individuals that are so stuck like this, they have formed up a defense of being stuck. Well, you didn't give me a chance, and all of these immature responses that are default responses when really they're comfortable with being uncomfortable. They're comfortable with being the way that they are because anything outside of that, it scares the hell out of them. Clarify Two of Cups for me. Romantic feelings, love yourself first, honeymoon, calling in your soulmate, and, oh, there we go. There's the wedding, okay? So this is what they visualize, wedding and keep an open mind, the top of the deck. Let's go ahead and get some of these. Here we go. Hold on. Let's get some of these patterns so I can get you out of here and we can finish unpacking this and the extended. It's really sad to bring this energy to you because you will make your mind up, Cancerian, and be completely committed to this. But unfortunately, you know, sometimes we attract the opposite of what we are. And I can tell you that their well-being is in detriment as well. They are having a hard time just getting mentally right. They think that the peace comes from isolation, which I can understand as having Earth in my chart. But in actuality, they're the problem. And sometimes you just have to get to a point where you just battle your demons. And sometimes when you're battling those demons, it's best to do it by yourself. Romantic feelings is being clarified by attract, set your intentions high, and know that you deserve to receive love and happiness. So when we have setting the intention of back and forth, and when we have, hold on, yes, when we have this, then how can you attract love? If you're setting your attention for this back and forth energy rather than understanding that you deserve love and happiness. So that's an issue. Obviously, that is a problem. Sacred sexuality came out with that. No matter the other options, and this may not matter to some of you guys, but if you were getting good sexual, just like a sexual connection that was out of this world, then you were onto something, Cancerian, because no matter what is coming out in this Seven of Cups and no matter what options they've had or anything else, you know, to a water sign, having a sexual connection is very important. Having that sexual outlet, not to all water signs, but it really depends on your combination. And this is a powerful connection. Love yourself first, and the Ace of Cups being clarified by the lessons of Pluto. Yes, the patterns of control, power, manipulation, and intense push and pull. That's that back and forth energy again. Intimacy is not possessive, which also goes back to that Four of Pentacles. So not having the right outlet around them in order to be able to love. It is definitely a lesson of Pluto, but it is your destiny to be together, and that is what they're fighting. Their heart believes it, but their mind won't, and they have a tremendous willpower. So they're used to losing. So you understand what I'm saying? They're used to it. The Four of Wands is all about red flags and calling in your soulmate. The red flag is they refuse to do just this. Tune in to the subtle energy that you are receiving about the situation. Listen to messages from your body. Trust your gut and intuition. They won't do it. So the way in which they process things is exactly the red flag. Clarify wedding here, please. Yep. This is what needs to happen. Letting go, change, time to move forward, risk, and opportunities. So, separation is at the top of the deck. Keeping an open mind was the top of the deck, and this is what's clarifying it. I think some of you guys just got to the point where you just had to walk away from this because it was getting to the point where it wasn't serving you. Surrender into your heart and divine source where there is no separation. The highest levels of love always serve and are without conditions. This person put conditions on this particular relationship, and that is the reason why you guys are here. So they're in love with you, and they're fighting it at every turn, like literally in love with you and want to marry you. Wedding and Four of Wands and Ace of Cups and Two of Cups. Everything is here, but they can't fight themselves. They have to fight themselves really hard just to be happy to accept this, which it says something about this person and what they have been through. What they desire is new beginnings, but you know, the problem is which side is going to win? Who's going to win? In their body, you know, their heart and soul is yours. You're the person who they want to be with, but they feel like love is control, Cancerians, which is really sad. But this is what they're struggling with in this new moon in Pisces. So if you are feeling this, just send those praying hands to the Marvelous community for whoever is connecting with this energy. As commenters, okay, I'm going to send you love and healing light. We're going to examine a little bit more in the extension and find out how you're feeling about this. I know you could not possibly be happy. It's one thing to know how someone feels about you, but it's a completely other thing to see that they're not doing anything about it. So they backed you into a corner and you had to make a decision, or you will be making this decision. So I would say if you're going to make the decision, make it now, but we'll talk more about that in the extension. Like, share, subscribe to the Marvelous Tribe. I certainly hope that it, I guess, didn't resonate with some people because it's so sad, but more than likely it probably does. So I'm going to send you love and healing light in my praying hands, and I will see you next week when we do it again, and the rest of you in the extension. Bye, Cancerian.